Okay. So good morning, everyone. For those who are celebrating Good Friday, I just wanted to say I wish you a very good celebration. Happy Easter and I just wanted to say welcome to the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce, and it is Access to Capital. This webinar is so important because it provides opportunity for businesses and entrepreneurs. When I say businesses, you can be a one-person operation all the way to a major corporation. And access to capital is what is going to thrive, grow and thrive the economy for businesses, especially in New York City or in the Metro New York area. I am honored to be able to provide this information, work with the partnerships of these lenders right here, as well as Manley Lind from the SBA. We have been talking about with local, city, federal agencies, the importance of access to capital and to provide the information and get it down to the businesses in a trickle down effect, almost like a domino effect. The more information you have, the more money that you can access, the more that you're going to grow your business. You're going to hire people. They're going to go out and they're going to spend money on restaurants at retailers and buy goods and services. So that's why it's so important that we provide this information. And our mantra behind the Greater New York Chamber is to help you grow your business. So I'm going to turn it over to Manley Lind. We do have, and we so appreciate all the lenders that are on there taking the time to provide this information. This is being recorded. It will be on Chamber TV. So I just want to let everyone know. Put your questions in the Q&A. We're going to be monitoring the Q&A, and hopefully we'll have time at the end to go over briefly a couple of questions that you have. I'm turning it over to Manley Lind, and thank you so much for everyone participating in this right now.
Thank you, Helena. Good morning, everyone. So I will just talk about SBA's programs for you. Then later we will have 5 lenders. They will make a presentation about their programs. So if you go to sba.gov, you can read our information in more than 30 different languages. No matter what stage of your business, even before you start your own business, until you grow your business to be so successful, we have programs to help you. Business guide, funding programs. If you are today, I know all of you are interested in finding out the funding. So please can go to the details. And federal government contracting. So SBA will provide one-on-one counseling through our resource partner, because you will need their help, one-on-one counseling, especially when you apply the loan. You need to prepare your loan packages, business plan, so they can help you. So please make appointment with them. Government contracting, I just have 2 slides for you. Encourage everyone to pursue the government contracting, because the U.S. government is the biggest buyers in the whole world. So every year spend more than $500 billion. And you can see the percentage I put here, okay? If you are a small disadvantaged business, there are 14% set aside for you. 3% for HUB zones, 3% for service disabled veterans, and 5% for women-owned business. So next year, 2025, the small disadvantaged business will get up to 15% set aside. So if you are a minority and a women-owned business, you have 20% set aside for you. So please, this is a certification website. Now I will go to SBA's funding program. Disaster assistance, we know SBA provide disaster loan. So now still in New York area, we still have 2 disaster loan, okay, still can apply. This is for 2 events, last year and this year. So the SBA's financing option have loan, have capital, investment capital, disaster assistance, surety bond, and grants. Okay, so first things, we have a new lender match. Okay, this is just launched right now. So you can go there, answer questions, how much money you want to borrow and the situation of your business. Then you will be matched within 2 days. Then you can talk to those lenders. They think you're lendable and choose the one that you make the loan. You can borrow money from them. So for SBA loan program, you can see we have so many different programs. I will talk about 3 categories only. You can borrow from $500 to $5.5 million. But not everyone need SBA's guarantee. If you go to your bank, your lenders, the lenders you have good relationship with, most of them, they have their own loan program. So take it. But if the lenders, they think a little bit risky, they cannot make loan to you. They will submit your loan to SBA to see SBA if SBA can guarantee to them. So that's how SBA work with more than 4,000 lenders to help the small business. If the borrowers cannot repay the debt, SBA will pay to the lenders for the borrowers up to 90%. Depends on what kind of loan programs you borrow. So lenders, they handle all loan transactions. You don't have to contact SBA. Very important to build a good relationship with the lenders. That's the purpose for today's event. So the first 2 programs I want to talk about, because later you will hear them talk about they have different kind of loan program. So SBA's guarantee loan, the most common one, popular one is 7A loan. You can borrow up to $5 million. You can see here, you can use the process for almost everything, even refinance your business debt. Eligibility, you have to be a small business for profit. I list here some ineligible businesses for your reference. You can borrow up to $5 million. The interest rate actually is negotiable. And if you borrow more than $1 million, actually you still have to pay the guarantee fee. Okay, but I think a lot of business, they don't need to borrow up to $1 million. So 7A small loans start from 2023. You can borrow up to $500,000. We also simplified the procedure for lenders too. Express loan, you can borrow up to $500,000. The turnaround time is only 48 hours. So if you have an emergency need, that's for you. We also have cap line loan. There are 4 sub-programs. Those are the line of credit. The second program is 504 loan. This is a very special loan for business to buy the building or land or new facility and machinery and equipment. Also can do the improvement of modernization of your facilities. You can see the pie chart. You only pay 10% of the loan amount. And the red part is 504 loan. SBA, we authorize CDC. They can process our 40%. You will work with a bank, lend you 50%. So actually you borrow money from 2 lenders. The total amount can go up to $12 million. So keep in mind, this is a good investment program to help you. You have to use more than 51% of the property for your own business. 40-something% you can rent out. So a lot of business, they use this program. They pay 10% down, they get property, they rent out and use the rent to pay the mortgage. The third one is microloan. Microloan, we know a lot of lenders, they don't make loan to startups. So SBA with nonprofit organization, we have this microloan program for startups. You can borrow from $500 to $50,000. At least here, all the lenders that you can contact them. If you are not in the New York area, please contact your local SBA's district office to get those microloan lenders. SBA also lend money to venture capitalists. So if you are thinking about the investment, you can go to this website to find those venture capitalists. Then you can do pitch with them, but have to do your homework before you talk to them. Surety bond is for construction company. When construction company get government contract, normally they have to have the bonding. So SBA have this one to help with that. We have 3 international trade law. So this is a huge change that in 2023, now we broaden the definition of exporter. So if you are not an exporter, but if you sell your products or provide service for exporter, you can use the international trade law. Even the college right now, if they have foreign students, actually, if they do the marketing to the foreign country, they can use this loan. So especially the long-term one is the working capital that can help you. Total amount go up to $5 million. If you are interested in this program, you can talk to our representatives actually for New York. This is the only loan that you can talk to SBA directly. SBA also provide funding to each state, so to help the exporter. I encourage you thinking about exporting, in 2024. They have grants for you if you participate in a trade show in other countries, and also help you with marketing to foreign countries. The last one is there are 2 grants, but not for you to start your own business. It's for R&D, research and development. So Small Business Innovation Research Program and the Technology Transfer Program. You can go to this website. Every year, more than 5,000 awardees get this. Each of the projects is more than $1 million. So there are 3 phases. You can go to the website to see the details. SBA actually, we coordinate with 11 government agencies, okay, to make sure that small business get those awards. And 5 agencies participate in the technology transfer program. This one, small businesses have to find a nonprofit research institution to work together, but they provide a list that you can discuss with them. So SBA will provide oversight and guidance to those 11 agencies, make sure that they put out the project, and then business can submit their proposal and get awards. So SBA also provide funding for each state and some organizations that help the business to pursue these 2 grants. So this is my presentation about SBA's financing program. Now we are going to listen to the lenders. I already mentioned today's purpose is not for you to ask, you need money, and your individual situation, okay? So, but I encourage you, we will send you the information about all the lenders participating today. So please discuss with them, learn from them, and prepare for your future needs. So,
Manley, can I just ask you, will I receive the PowerPoint presentation for me to email out?
yes.
Okay, because people have been asking and I always want to make sure. So thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. First, I would just announce your name according to the position on the screen, okay? So James, the first one, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. So good morning, everybody. First of all, Helena, Manley, thank you guys as always for setting this up. So my name is Jimmy Vigna. I work for a company called Pursuit. Some of you may know us by our former name, the New York Business Development Corporation. We've been around since 1955, and we are a New York State chartered bank, as well as a community development financial institution that is licensed to administer a number of SBA and non-SBA loan programs in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Simon?
Yeah, hi, this is Simon Lee. I'm with Bank of Hope. We are the largest Korean bank in the country. We have about 60 branches from east to west coast. And in New York, my office is in Flushing. We also have about 11 branches from New Jersey to Queens. And I myself has been doing small business for many, many years. And I'm looking forward to provide service to you.
Thank you. Ralph?
Manly, thank you so much. As always, this is Ralph Rodriguez. I'm a relation manager at City National Bank. It's a private and commercial bank. I also a certified treasury professional, and even more importantly, very proud member of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Anthony?
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Anthony Mack, Business Relationship Manager here with Chase Bank. I'm also an active member of the Greater New York Chamber, heavily involved in your Pride Network. I myself am a Pride gay dad with an adopted son. So professionally, I'm an MBA holder with over 10 years of experience working with medium-sized businesses, and I'm here to help business make the best use of their financial resources.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me today.
Okay. Jason?
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me. Well, glad to see everybody. Jason Cole. I'm with the company Capital. I run the Community Advantage program. So as a small business lending company, licensed small business lending company, we do the Community Advantage program up to $350,000. So that's 7A loans, very focused on loans under $350,000, helping startups, minority women-owned businesses, distressed areas, and underserved markets.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now back to James. You know, a lot of businesses actually, they think they're just startups, or, you know, they don't know what stage, you know, when they should talk to the lenders. So what stage of the, you know, of the business you can make loans to?
Sure. So we actually are able to lend to everything from startups to established businesses. Just to clarify, SBA defines a startup as less than 2 years in operations, but yes, we can lend to startups to existing businesses.
Thank you. Simon?
Yeah, we typically require 1 year of tax return filing.
Okay, thank you. Ralph?
Sorry, that's me myself. We're actually looking for up to 3 years in tenure minimum. However, and I always get myself in trouble saying this, if you're a strong guarantor on a particular business credit application, we'll take that into consideration as well.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yeah, normally we would consider a startup with less than 2 years of operating history, with the exception of maybe in some certain professional services like medical, dental, legal, accounting, where a company owner may have previous experience with corporations and then they start their own business. So their previous professional training will also be counted towards this consideration of their experience in the industry. But even if a regular startup company is not ready for a line or a loan, we can also have what we call a business credit card that would give them sort of a professional, sort of a credit runway for around 12 months, because we do have 0B credit cards, business credit cards, which offer also 0% APR for 12 months. That can be considered.
Okay, thank you. Jason?
Yes, the company Capital, we work with startups, you know, whether they've started in 1 to 2 years in business or whether or not they're just ramping up and getting ready to create revenue.
Okay, the next question would be, what kind of SBA's guarantee loan do you make actually to the small business? James?
Sure. So Pursuit provides the SBA 7A, 504, Community Advantage, and microloan programs. We do not provide the export trade programs.
Thank you. Simon?
Yeah, we primarily do SBA 7A, 504, and the SBA Express.
Ralph?
City National Bank is a SBA preferred lender, which means we do our underwriting in-house. We do provide 7A, 504, no express, but we do support international trade loans.
Anthony?
Yes, Chase is also an SBA preferred lender, and we also provide 7A, 504, And to make it easy for applicants, we require no submission of financial or tax documents at the application stage for loan or line amounts below $250,000, and we charge no application fee. There is a possibility that we ask for those documents at a later stage, but at the application stage, we don't require document permission.
Jason?
Yes, we do the 7A program, the small balance up to 350 under the Community Advantage program. We like working with the International Trade Program, so we'll overlay that into our work. And Company Capital does loans other than the Community Advantage in terms of the micro loans, literally as small as $2,000, let's say. For there's a big focus on immigrants and refugees, people who in a different category, maybe entrepreneurs who are just starting out, things of that nature. So that's how we do the micro lending as well.
Okay, thank you. Now I know that all of you have specific other programs for the business. So James, can you talk about what other than the SBA's guarantee loan, what programs do you have?
Sure. So Pursuit actually in total has about 20 different loan programs. So removing the SBA component from the conversation, the loan programs typically range in size from $50,000 to $500,000, based on a number of different criteria, such as whether the business is a minority-owned business, woman-owned business, geographically where they are located, and then in addition to that, we're the only community development financial institution in the country that offers a true line of credit product that would mirror that of a conventional bank.
Thank you. Simon?
Yeah, we typically provide all kinds of loan programs to small businesses, including working capital, trade finance, real estate, warehouse purchase, acquisition, equipment. And so we are typically you can say a traditional commercial bank.
Thank you. Ralph?
City National, we're full service. So we do offer traditional business line of credit, term loans, equipment loans. We have our own equipment leasing company, letters of credit, commercial credit cards.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
Yes, Chase is also a full service bank. So we do provide working capital for businesses in terms of the business line of credit. We have term loans, equipment financing, commercial real estate purchase financing. And as I just mentioned, we also have business credit cards, which we offer 0% interest rate for the first 12 months to provide some sort of a runway for especially early stage companies. So yeah, we have all sorts of different products.
Thank you. Jason?
Yes, as a CDFI, we're required and we're geared up to help business owners with technical assistance. So we either bring in the resource partners like the SBDC, or we have in-house kinds of programs that we help in various ways. We running webinars and doing one-on-one consultation and just sometimes getting business owners ready to borrow and ready to be bankable, so to speak. So that's what we do other than lending.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Usually I guarantee the attendees that actually if they attend today's event, they can contact you and you will talk to them, okay? So what would be the best time for a business to contact you? Because some of them, they just start a business. They don't know, can they contact you? Or they already find a location, a building, a property, then they can talk to you. So what is the best time for them to talk to you? James?
Sure. So the answer is always earlier is always better. So when you're in the process of obtaining financing, it's important to explore and understand all of the options that are out there, whether that's financing through a CDFI or a conventional bank. The earlier the better. Understanding what your project is important. And then one thing to not do is come when you're needing the money tomorrow, because I'm sure I could speak for everyone here that unfortunately it is not an overnight process. So coming at the very last moment is certainly something you do not want to do.
Thank you. Simon?
Yeah, I would say that I'm pretty open for any early discussions. Even if you have a project in mind, you want somebody to have a chat. I would be happy to talk to you and give you some advice or guidance.
Thank you. Ralph?
Communication should always be constant with your bank or your lender. And it doesn't matter if you're near the transaction or past it, or you're just thinking about it. Put it this way, everyone, hopefully, when they go home, they brush their teeth and they shower and they have good physical hygiene. So make sure you have good financial hygiene. Make sure that your banker and your lawyer, your CPA, will have you on the team, all talking to each other at all times.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yeah, this may sound a little bit counterintuitive, but the best time to apply or to talk about credit or line is when you don't need it and are in the best financial shape, because this will allow the lenders to make an easy decision for you, right? Sometimes when I come across clients who have like lowering personal savings, business savings, and they need the additional lending from the bank, but the bank sees their balance sheets and sees that, okay, the business is really not generating enough revenue. So why do you need those threats? Those are the time that you urgently need the money, and the bank will not be able to help if your financials are not speaking for itself. And so my recommendation is really to talk to your banker, maybe bankers, right? We have a lot of experts here beforehand, and project your financial needs in different business and macroeconomic environments. Previously, where we all experienced COVID really changed a lot of things, right? If you wait till it hits and then you don't have enough cash cushion for your business, then that's not something you want your business to be in. So really be prepared in advance. Or say, for example, for a business line of credit, it really can act as sort of a cash flow insurance policy. So when you need the money, it's already available there. So think of it, a banker will give you a lot of good advice.
Thank you. Jason?
For every business owner at any stage, setting up their board of advisors is very important. And everybody on this panel has a professional lender and banker with decades of experience. Can be part of the board of advisors for every business, whether it's a solopreneur, or, any stage early on or exiting. Setting up those professionals. So that would be your banker, that would be your attorney and your accountant, and could be your butcher if he's a smart guy that would help guide you. Anyone who can participate and in your journey would be great for that sounding board, that board of advisors, and that's one of the big recommendations for every business owner out there. Don't do it alone.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that's the purpose of today's. Please include the lenders, be your management team. Okay, think they are your partner, they are your counselor. Okay, to help your business develop. Okay, next question, because a lot of business, they heard the rumor, they have to have a minimum credit score or the collateral. So what are your minimum credit score request or collateral request, James?
Sure. So on the SBA side, there isn't really a drop dead credit score number. I like to put it this way. If your credit score is 500, you have larger problems than trying to obtain a loan. But to give it an actual number, I would say somewhere around 640 or 660. But what's more important than that is understanding any blemishes or items that may come up in the process. I always believe that honesty is the best policy. Anything that has happened, we should know about up front. Again, I've had borrowers that have had bankruptcies, been formally incarcerated, everything in between. It's not what you did, it's what you did to rectify it. So, but to answer the question with a number, usually about 640, 660.
Thank you. Simon?
I would say about 620 is our bottom. And we also need to understand any issues from the credit report that you should be prepared to answer.
Thank you, Ralph.
So for our streamlined application process, we're looking at 680. However, we do have underwriters that will actually look at a loan package. The score could be lower, and I've had approvals for clients at 640, but also had declines for clients that has a 750 or 800 credit scores. Credit score is important, but cash flow is king. The business must make money.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yeah, similar to Rav, the credit score is important, right? We would like to have a decent credit score, though we don't really have a credit score minimum. We do make reference to the SBA guideline on the acceptable credit score. However, Chase is a cash flow lender, which means that cash flow is the ultimate most important factor for us to determine how much and whether we can lend to a company. And we're talking about historical cash flow primarily. And therefore, it comes back to the original question about like the startup companies, because we will need to see the last 2 years of company cash flow in order to determine what is the comfort level that we can lend to you and in what form.
Thank you. Jason?
Yes, the most important score for us as a small balance SBA lender in the Community Advantage Program is the SBA scoring model, right? So we don't have an explicit personal credit score that is critical. There's no certain number, just like Jimmy just said, but the SBA scoring model does take into account some high level of high weighting of the personal score. So if the SBA scoring model itself passes, we have the ability to work with the client, isolate anything that really stands out in there and explain anything that's going on in their personal credit report and figure out what to do. And like everyone, I would agree with a little bit of everything everybody said. Honesty is the best policy up front. Talk about everything that went on and try to figure it out. See what happened. See what they did to resolve it.
Okay, thank you. I think we heard Ralph and Anthony mention the cash flow is very most important things. So now we will talk about what is a good cash flow statement for your underwriting, Jim?
Yeah, so that question has a lot of parts associated with it. So I want to separate the answer into a startup and an operating business. So at the end of the day, what SBA looks at is 1.15 to 1 in terms of what's called debt service coverage. So I'm a pretty simple guy, so I like to keep things simple. That means for every dollar you borrow, you have $1.15 in free cash to pay it back. So what SBA looks at in terms of a good statement is not only the numbers that you put up, but the story that you tell behind it. So picture the projections and the financial statement as a way of storytelling. It's somewhere in between build it and they will come and a math exercise. It's somewhere in the middle of those two things. But what we typically tend to look for is the ability to service the debt in terms of numerical value and not being overly leveraged in existing debt that you have. So if that helps.
Thank you. Simon?
Yeah, typically our 7A program, SBA 7A program, we look for debt service ratio of 1.15, 1.15. So like the gentleman said before me, $1 that you have to pay, you should have $1.15 in cash flow. On the other hand, on the 504 program, which is to buy assets, real estate or equipment, we would require a slightly higher ratio of 1.25.
Thank you. Ralph?
So for traditional financing, 1.25 as debt service cover ratio, SBA 1.15. However, we look at global cash flow. So it's not just cash flow from your business, but also any other source of income you have coming. Some of you on the call may be on side hustle mode, and side hustle is actually building up, but you still have a W-2 job. Will actually take into consideration that W-2 income plus anything else you have coming in.
Thank you. Anthony?
Here at Chase, it's the same. Our usual minimum global debt service coverage ratio is 1.25 global. And by global, we mean that it's not just about the business loan or debt that it had or projected to have, but also personal debt obligations, right? Especially for business owners who get 100% of their personal income out of their own business, right? If they own 100% of the company, then this global cash flow is particularly important because how the business is generating revenue directly impacts how much the business owner himself or herself can have as his personal salary or revenue. So, so all of these, but if historical cash flow does not really meet the requirements, we may also consider certain exceptions, right? Are there like one-time non-recurring expenses? And those will add back to the cash flow calculation as well. But without diving into too much of details, when it comes to specific company situations, you're very welcome to reach out to one of us.
Thank you. Jason?
Yes, the SBA debt service, like everyone said, 7A program, small balance and large balance is 1.15. Global is 1.1 to 1. The only comment I would make is on transactions in which we're relying on projections. We really, it's really important to, to assess the business owner's capability and competency and ability to, talk about the nuances of the business, putting projection assumptions together in a knowledgeable way to talk about the ins and outs of their business model and the industry and everything else is very, very important. And that's how we'll gauge. Anybody could put, mathematically put numbers together, but if you have to demonstrate the ability and the knowledge and experience in your industry.
Thank you. The next question, what is the most common mistakes borrowers make? James?
How much time do you have? Just kidding. So the key ones that I would say is number one, not knowing exactly what you want to use the financing for, or starting the conversation with how much can I borrow? So that is immediate red flag to most lenders, stating that you don't understand your project, you don't know what you need the money for, and you don't understand the expenses. So that's part one. And then for established businesses and just entrepreneurs in general, I know it's great to be able to write off as much as humanly possible on your tax returns so you can avoid paying taxes. We all understand that. But at the end of the day, any conventional or CDFI lender goes based on what's on paper. So I say that to say, do not fall into the small business owner trap of wanting to write off as much as you can so that you save on taxes, because when it becomes time to obtain financing, it will be a lot more difficult. So those would be the two.
Thank you. Simon?
I would say the need to understand exactly the type of financing need that you require to be able to articulate.
You unmute. Please unmute yourself. Simon,
Simon,
you're
you're
muted. Okay. Simon, you're muted. You have to unmute your microphone. Cannot hear you.
I asked him to. Simon, let me see if I don't.
I bet he had a great answer too.
phenomenal answer.
Oh, God. Great.
Oh, there you go, Simon.
There you go.
You're gonna have to repeat.
Simon, you
You're
have
I'm
muted.
sorry, there was an incoming call. So yeah, I would say that to be able to understand the exact the need of your own particular situation and be able to articulate in verbally and also in writing business plans, projections, be able to articulate why you need the money.
Thank you. Ralph?
No, in terms of articulation, there's that quantitative aspect of why you want to borrow money, but especially here in my bank, we're really all about relationships. So one thing I want to know is why you're in business in the first place. What is your why? And I'm looking at the chat here, and some of you people have awesome business ideas. I'm looking at Sarah Fuentes right now and how you're helping students with math scores and stuff like that. My son's taking the math test today. That's awesome. That's a story I could put down on a credit memo and try to get things approved.
Thank you. Anthony?
So what information should they have? They should be very clear about their business and personal financial situation, right? If not, then really feel free to consult us and give us, like, consider it as part of the management team, as Manny was saying, because it is critical to understand, especially in the past 2 years, how the business and your personal financial situation are, right? Are you heavily indebted? Are you like you're flooded with cash flow that you have too much money to spend? And so all of these are important consideration. If you don't know your financial situation, you can also bring your personal tax return or the business tax return to consult with one of us so that we can analyze it for you. There is also a question regarding whether non-US citizens can be eligible. This seems to be a recurring question, so I would like to also bring it back there. If you're non-US citizen, depending on whether you have a social security number, as a conventional lender, most of our conventional types of loan require personal guarantee. And a business owner typically is a personal guarantor. So you will need to have your social security number, therefore a credit history, in order for you to qualify to back up a business loan. So it doesn't matter whether you are a citizen or not citizen. You can still be a green card holder with a social security number, and that will qualify you to be a borrower.
Okay, Jason?
Since I go last, everyone else's answers are fantastic, but I'm going to come up with this one. Many entrepreneurs try to do it all themselves, and my advice is that the mistakes that get made is you do it all yourself. You're not delegating anything, and as things grow, suddenly not everything is done sufficiently and adequately. I'll give you an example: bookkeeping. Trying to do it themselves, not doing it correctly. Sort of plays into Jimmy's first comment was, if your taxes aren't being done and if your CPA is not an advisor, just preparing taxes and doing what they can do to whatever you giving them, putting down on paper whatever you give them, and you've made mistakes or you haven't planned for the future, that's one of the things that should be done professionally early on before you need to borrow. Plan on the future. Come to any one of us. We're advisors. We're not just a big bad lender. We're advisors. We'll help you get where you need to be in 3 years, in 7 years. Do you want to buy the building? Yeah, we'll show you how to do that in a couple of years. Planning and strategizing. That's what we all do at on this panel. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to the Q&A, my last question, can you give one advice to the borrowers? James?
Sure. So it's hard to really select one, but just to keep it simple. Number one, don't be afraid and trust your gut. Entrepreneurship by nature is calculated risk. So don't be afraid to take risks. Also, all of us as lenders, we're also human beings. Don't look at this like we're some high and mighty, albeit power. We're not. So understand that we're human beings just like you, and we want to help you. And lastly, just make sure that you're upfront. Again, it's not what you did, it's what you did to rectify it.
Thank you so much. Simon?
Yeah, I would say the expectation, set your right expectation with the lenders. Even though we are talking about SBA, it is not free money. It is not that you have minimal investment and you expect the lender to come in with the SBA to give you the money. So set your right expectation. The lenders are looking for your particular personal interest, how much you devoted in terms of finances, your resources into the business. And the more you can demonstrate your serious commitment into the business, the better it is for the lender to feel comfortable for lending you the money. So set the right expectation and be prepared to and demonstrate how much that you are committed into the business.
Thank you, Ralph.
No, every business and business owners is like a snowflake. Everybody's individuals, and your situation may not necessarily be the same as somebody else. And the rise of social media, you get a lot of great information, but there's a lot of things that are misleading. So just because someone has a business line of credit doesn't mean it's appropriate for you. So how to figure it out? Talk to a lender, open conversation.
Thank you, Anthony.
I think a number of business owners are afraid of getting declines. But I would like to put it out there. Don't be afraid, because here at Chase, as a policy, we always give out credit decision summary. So it would detail if there is a decline, it would give out the reason why there is a decline. And this is actually a good starting point for us to analyze that credit decision. And to then remedy those aspects, right? Is it cash flow? Is it credit? Is it collateral? When we understand the business reason behind a decline, then there are remedy methods, and so we can have a better chance of getting it approved the next time.
You, Jason.
Yes, I would say don't be afraid of debt, but take the time to understand what debt means, and what it means, especially to your business model, and work with any of us to actually understand. It could be there's a lot of layers to it. So you have to understand how your business works and how debt works in your business. And Ralph alluded to the common mistake of, let's say using a line of credit for long-term purposes. Now you have no line of credit because you bought a piece of equipment or something like that. So, that's a strategic error when it comes to debt. So just understanding it will help you prevent those errors and thrive in your business and not experience cash flow pain.
Okay, thank you. I saw there are many questions. I think we have time actually for people to ask, but I think I just want to mention, okay, most of business, they call me too late. They call me and say, I ran out of my money. I need money now. Usually I just say, sorry, that's too late. The second thing, you don't know how much you want to borrow. I ask them, they usually say, oh, as much as possible. How much can I borrow? That's not good answer for lenders. You need to prepare. So that's the purpose of today's event. We hope that you can talk to the lenders to prepare, to know your options, to prepare for your financing need in the future. Do not wait. Okay, so build up good relationship with them. So Helena, you want to open for people to ask questions?
Sure, I'm going to go over them. So put your questions in the chat. But I just want to say, coming from not the financial background, from the Greater New York Chamber representing businesses and what I hear, you know what? I want to put it out there. We have a lot of people on there. The banks are small business friendly. They want to help you. And I hear that, you know what? I'm not a big business. It's not like that anymore. That's why we have this panel going on. Reach out to it, your banker or the people on this panel and establish a relationship. And that's what they want to help you. So don't, the stigma of being a big business, and I'm looking at the people that are on here are, small businesses and entrepreneurs. Reach out to this panel. They're here to help you. They are small business friendly, and we're really, it's very important to get that whole pivot from the major corporations. No disrespect to the major corporations, but the bankers are small business friendly right now. So that's what I hear. Also, someone asked, what is the DNB Paydex score? Doesn't matter.
I'll answer that. That tends to be secondary depending on the lender. If you're looking for personal credit and also, at least in our end, Experian Telescore. The thing about the Paydex, it doesn't necessarily show comparable credit. That's what banks are looking for. So yeah, what gets reported on Paydex is maybe a net 30 trade line you have with your local hardware store or even or Lowe's or Home Depot that may not be reported in your business credit report. We're really looking for what bank or what lender lent you money and then put that on that credit report.
Can a non-US citizen obtain loans? Traditional and government support lending?
So I'm gonna speak on the SBA side. SBA requires that the business is 51% owned and operated by either a US citizen or a legal permanent resident. So absent one of those two things, or absent both of those things, SBA is not an option.
Sabrina asks, is there certain funds for veterans? We actually did that. We discussed that yesterday at our round table. One of our founder is retired from the military. I know Ralph is, and we thank him for his service, is active in our military affairs committee. I think Manly and Ralph can answer that.
So in terms of my bank, not necessarily, but you know, as
The
a
SBA.
Yeah, for SBA, if veterans own business, actually, if they need to borrow the express loan, they don't have to pay the guarantee fee. Okay, and also have a different percentage you can discuss with the lenders.
Okay. I'm just scrolling through. I got to go to two.
I saw a question, a lot of business ask about grants. So far, okay, SBA usually only provide guarantee loan, no grants. But because the disaster, pandemic, there's a special time that actually SBA provide grants. But I think I can work with Helena. We can have a webinars about grants.gov. If you're looking for grants, go to grants.gov. All the grants information there. Okay.
And we also have our Chamber TV, the past presentation. We will be doing future ones to make sure that you are up to date on everything. But we do have one on how to how to get the grants that Manly Lynn with the Greater New York Chamber did on Chamber TV. I'm just trying to think of, I think we answered, unless I'm looking.
Okay, I mentioned there are two grants, okay, but those two grants not for you to operate your business or to start your own business. It's for research and development, R&D. So you have to go to the 11 government agency. Each of the project really grants more than $1 million, okay? So if you can use that fund to hire somebody to do those innovation, you don't have to be a scientist or a researcher. You can use the funding, but only small business owner can apply that grants, okay? So so that's I saw a lot of scientists, they work with small business, try to get those grants. I really encourage you. The government needs you to for your innovation to help to solve a lot of problems that we face right now. Okay, so go to SBIR.gov.
You want to say that one more? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Okay, you will receive the PowerPoint, okay? Helena usually will share your email address with me. I will send you my PowerPoint, have a lot of links for you, especially lender match, okay? A lot of business ask me, how can I find, can you recommend a lender? You can go to lender match and just provide them your information. Then they will do the automatically matchmaking for you within 2 days. There are more than 800 lenders participate in that program.
Quick question. This is a good question. Do you need a completed business plan when you're going to a lender, or just the main concept is enough?
I'm gonna jump on that one real quick. So I've seen business plans that are 100 pages long and tell me nothing, and I've seen ones that are 10 pages long and tell me everything I need to know. So the idea of a formal business plan that needs to be a certain length or look a certain way is not necessarily accurate. What's important is having the appropriate information: who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it, what the relevant experience is, and the supporting narrative that explains why it's going to work. So if you could do that in 5 pages, great. If you can do it in 50, that's fine too.
And also,
Right.
if you also need, SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives, they have different locations throughout the Metro New York area. Reach out to them if you just don't know where to start. You can also call the Greater New York Chamber, but SCORE is a very good resource. Service Corps of Retired Executives.
Right, SBA have a 4 resource partner. SBA provide them funding to help you. So they can help you with business plan, SCORE, and Small Business Development Center, Women Business Center, and also Veterans Business Outreach Center. Okay, so in my PowerPoint, I have a link there for you, so you can just make appointment with them. But nobody will write a business plan for you. So my suggestion is you draft one and bring that to talk to the business advisor or mentor, so they can help you to modify the information.
Thank you so much. We have 2 minutes left, and so we appreciate everyone's time. I just want to say thank you so much for this panel. Very informative. Everyone's going to get, as long as you RSVP'd at thechamber.nyc, if not, just email me. You'll get a copy of the PowerPoint presentation. This will be on Chamber TV. Shout out to a couple of our members. Tyler Bramble, CPA, is on here. Reach out to her. She's very, very small business friendly entrepreneur during this time that you do need tax season as well as accounting. DS Capital Group, welcome aboard. We have Pearls Premium. M&T Bank is on here. Tyler, I mentioned Jeff Bolding from LifeLink, All Power Services, and everyone who is, I didn't recognize on there, who's a member of the Greater New York Chamber. Thank you for your support. Ralph Rodriguez, City National Bank Community Partner. We so appreciate that. We are a nonprofit organization, so definitely join us and connect with our database of 30,000 different business and civic leaders. Jason, I can't appreciate your time enough. Thank you so much. Anthony, Community JP Morgan Chase, patron partner with the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. They have been doing in-person power networking lunches. So reach out to them. They do one-on-ones. Ralph, again, thank you so much for your support. Simon, thank you again for today.
Thank you.
James, for what you do for Pursuit, thank you again. And of course, Manly Lynn, without this information, it's just so, I'm so grateful because we have this partnership that we can put it together. She is the queen of this. So we thank you so much, because without your time, without making the effort, we wouldn't be able to do this. So thank you, everyone, so much.
Thank you.
Manly,
Good
you want to
weekend,
close it
everyone.
out?
And if you're not a member of the chamber, become a member of the chamber.
There you go. There you go.
And
Good day,
Tuesday,
guys.
while I have everyone, Tuesday at 10 o'clock, online networking. If you want to see Ralph and everyone else, who is there, it's a lot of fun. We're a big family.
Okay.
Thank you,
Good day,
Manly.
guys.
Happy
Bye,
Easter.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Have a great weekend.
Happy Easter.